bring in Willice Ochieng joining us live and direct from Kisii County. Willice Wambaje, how are you doing tonight? You look ready and roaring and willing.
Betty, you know, when it comes to Friday night, the time when we learn like brothers and sisters, I feel great.
Absolutely.
So, one thing, I'm in a very wonderful mood for what is expected of me. Alois, how are you?
I'm great, Willice. Let me get straight into it. And let me tell you the first word. Let me actually spell it out. Preferential. This word, Willice, do we say preferential, preferential? Which is which, Willice?
Well, Betty, we have the verb prefer, to prefer. But for this word, you say preferential, preferential. And we should remember that it's used as an adjective, preferential.
All right, preferential. Thank you very much. I'm sure a lot of people normally say preferential. Kumbe, it's preferential.
Yes, it happens. You're right.
All right, got it, Willice. Let me move on to this other word. We hear people saying anger and anger. Which is which, Willice? Do you say anger or anger?
Well, Betty, the A in that word takes what we call the short, low front sound A. Not A. You say anger, anger, not anger. And we also say angry, not angry. So for this word, anger is the correct pronunciation, Betty.
All right, got it, Willice. Now, moving on to this one, and it's good that we're talking about this because we have a sporty night here in the studio. Willice, do we say referee or do we say referee? Which is which, Willice?
Well, many people innocently say referee, referee, or you say referee. Refer, then re, you have that stress. So referee, no. Referee, yes. All
right. Okay, Willice, got it. All right, let's now move on to the words that we had from your audience and, of course, your fans, Pale X.
Now, Betty, we have so many words that came in this week. And from Victor Mandela. Victor Mandela, you say alumni, alumni. Don't say alumni, don't say alumni. You say alumni, alumni. Then the second one is from Nyabwari Obed in Tanzania. Nyabwari, you say liaison, liaison, not liaison. Liaison, common, but wrong. You say liaison. Then we have the third one, and that is from Collins Colimo Sr. Collins, you say myriad, myriad, not myriad, not married, myriad, myriad. And then finally, we have, that is collections of the week. Betty, I know you're getting ready for people testing their tongues.
Absolutely.
That is attempting to pronounce a tricky word on the street. But Betty, the last person we have here is Richard Kirui. C.I. Richard Kirui from Rangwe. You say chevron, chevron, not chevron. This word, you pronounce it as chevron. Avoid saying chevron. Then, Betty, at this moment, I think I should give you the chance to let us know what we have on the street. That is, test your tongue.
Absolutely, Willice. Yes, actually, just like you mentioned it, let's get to the streets and hear what Kenyans had to say this week.
Inakwanga plague ama plek?
Bliuk.
Plek. Plek.
As a way of focusing something or on something.
This could be something, maybe an attack that affects people, maybe a disease that affects people, or a certain situation that affects people because of what they did in the past.
It's a thin layer that usually is found on your teeth, and in science it is mostly formed by microorganisms after you've taken a long period without brushing your teeth.
All right, quite insightful there, Willice. All right, Willice, how do we go about this one? Do we say plaque, which is which, Willice?
Betty, the word that we have is P-L-A-Q-U-E.
Yeah.
P-L-A-Q-U-E. The pronunciation is pluck. Pluck. We are talking about a small piece of stone or metal when you have maybe some event or a person being commemorated or remembered. That when you call it a plug. Usually it is stuck on a wall. A plaque. But when we have problems or a disease, that when we talk about plague. Otherwise, Betty, let's go now to our confusing words for tonight. We have the word S-C-O-U-R and S-C-O-R-E. The first one, S-C-O-U-R, you pronounce it as scour. To scour, not to score. The second one is score. S-C-O-R-E, score. Betty, we don't say score. We don't say score for the first word. Then the surprise word for tonight, viewers, it's a very common word, but many innocently mispronounce it as biscuit. Biscuit? No. When you talk about this word, remember that you say biscuit. The singular form, biscuit. But when it's plural, you say biscuit, not biscuit, as we commonly say and confidently say. Betty, have you ever heard of biscuit anywhere when you walk around maybe our country or even outside Kenya? Have you heard of biscuit?
Everywhere, actually. That's how people pronounce that word, biscuit.
But as I always say, Betty, learning helps us a lot because nobody, not even Willice, can be spotless or perfect or knowing everything at once. We learn so that we know. Otherwise, Betty, that's about it for Which is Which from me, and I have to bring our dear viewers and the great viewers, all of them, back to you in Nairobi. But they should remember that my Twitter handle, and that is the X handle, is at Willice Ochieng 1. They can always ask any question right from Monday to Sunday. Then we handle the word and demystify anything that sounds tricky, because here we are and only on TV47. Betty, back to you.
All right, thank you so much. Wonderful segment there. Wonderful words. Of course, now we know how to pronounce those particular words that he's talked about. And of course, you can always interact with Willice at his X handle at Willice Ochieng 1. Ask him anything. And I do a killer key too. Thanks, Willice, for that, joining us from Kisii County. Well, let's now